I do think, Steve, you wanted to talk about players just being what they are, right?
Yeah.
Our boy Portsy of The Athletic in Columbus put out a story about one Patrik Laine and the struggles that Columbus Blue Jackets are having this season with turning Patrik Laine into a power forward, one who blocks shots and throws hits.
It kind of sounds like you want Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Who, by the way, had a bit of an off night last night. It wasn't great.
Well, it started bad when he decked his own teammate, and then kind of got worse from there.
Yeah,
but what
are they doing, man?
The whole thing about the Blue Jackets going out and getting Patrik Laine, beyond the Dubois drama, because they could have traded him for anybody. They traded him for Patrik Laine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole story, this Finnish GM in Jarmo Kekalainen goes and gets one of the best young Finnish players in the world in Patrik Laine. And Patrik Laine was a player that Kekalainen wanted even at that draft in 2016. And you would think at some point over the last half decade, Jarmo Kekalainen would have Googled a story or two about Patrik Laine or watched a game or two of Patrik Laine. Maybe it's not Kekalainen that's the problem. It's Torts trying to make Patrik Laine, who is extraordinarily Patrik Laine. Not everyone is them all the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Patrik Laine is him all the time, though. Patrik Laine is a person who is very true to himself. And John Tortorella gets every car that pulls into his garage. Hey, you a Volkswagen? You a BMW? You a Ferrari? You a Mazda 3 randomly? You're all Jeeps now. All of you. A couple of you, we need a couple Dodge Durangos, but the rest of you are Jeeps. Patrik Laine's not a Jeep. He's never been a Jeep. I don't think he's ever going to be a Jeep. Why are you trying to make Patrik Laine a Jeep? When I saw that headline, it's so rare that a headline does actually tell the whole story. Well, what? You didn't Google the guy? Do you have any scouts? Did you think you were getting someone else? Like when the Leafs got Jeff Finger and they were probably trying to sign Kurt Sauer? That old story?
It's still one of the best stories in hockey history.
It's still it's wild that it's believable.
Yes.
Or let alone that it might actually be true.
Yes.
But what? I'm sorry. What did you think Patrik Laine was? What did you think he did?
Active stick at the Oak Leafs, who's so funny this year. He's like, the accountant I hired can't even fix my plumbing. He sucks.
It's Patrik Laine, you guys.
Yeah.
It's Patrik Laine. Like when Dale Hunter got the Caps, I want to say it was either to the third round or they did well in the second round, but they didn't quite make it. But Ovechkin could not frigging score. Well, who won that little battle, you think? Dale Hunter hasn't been seen since.
Yeah, as a coach, yeah.
Ovechkin resumed being Alex Ovechkin and won a cup.
Mm-hmm.
And people go, oh, Ovechkin changed. Well, I mean, a bit, but largely the Caps changed around him. My favorite part is when Alex Ovechkin got back-to-back shutouts in Game 6 and 7 against the Lightning. Guys, Patrik Laine is Patrik Laine. Mm-hmm. He's a guy who's going to snore his way to 30 goals. Snore. If you just let him. And I guess he's not allowed.
And so, Steve, you made a really interesting point earlier on in this season, and I thought it was something worth watching as the season went on. And you're the only one, to my knowledge, who's made this point. I could be wrong, but this is a really good one. How does Columbus re-sign Patrik Laine if this doesn't go well? That was the question at the time. Money. Okay, money.
That they don't have.
Money that they don't have. They've lost Pierre-Luc Dubois. doesn't want to be there? What if other young player from the same draft says, yeah, I don't want to be here either? Even if Torts leaves, if the mantra and the build of the team is a Jeep team, what's the McLaren driver going to do?
Adam, I do not know. I do. And you know what could happen here is a Thomas Vanek situation. The Buffalo Sabres lose Danny Briere. Mm-hmm. We don't like that because the Philadelphia Flyers gave him a shitload of money. Mm-hmm. Then they lose Chris Drury because the New York Rangers gave him a shitload of money. Then the Edmonton Oilers offer sheeted Thomas Vanek, and the Sabres said, that's enough. And they matched it. We're keeping him. So the Columbus Blue Jackets lost Artemi Panarin because the Rangers, they keep coming up, don't they? Gave him a bunch of money. And they lost Sergei Bobrovsky because the Panthers gave him a bunch of money. And Pierre-Luc Dubois, I don't know. No one will tell us. But he's not there anymore. And I think at some point, someone far above Jarmo Kekalainen is going to go, you don't lose this one. And you have a blank slate to not lose this one. And they're going to give him a shitload of money. And listen, Patrik Laine is absolutely the sort of player who might be worth that money. Thomas Vanek was like a 40-goal scorer when he got that contract. But you need to let him be him.
Can I put out a theory on how the Columbus Blue Jackets could re-sign Patrik Laine?
Sure.
How?
By firing John Tortorella.
Contract's up. They won't need to fire him.
By letting him go. Because the quote from Portsline's article from Tortorella says that I'd like to see Laine go with the puck more. I envision him as an unbelievably skilled power forward. I'd like to see him bring some power into his game, and that's skating with the puck, taking people on one-on-one.
That's not his game.
So then they asked Laine about Torts' comments, and they asked him if his attempts to change his game were playing a role into his slump. And Laine said, I don't know. It's hard to say. I've never really been a guy who's playing in the corners or behind the net too much. I'm usually the guy looking for openings where I can maybe receive the puck and try to shoot. That's what I'm good at. But you still have to do other things. So I don't know. That's a tough one. To me, that sounds like a guy who doesn't want to just say no to the media. He doesn't want to say, hey, I don't play like that. But in a roundabout way, he did say it. So if Columbus can just not re-sign Torts, then maybe Laine will be happy because there won't be a guy above him forcing him to play hockey, how he's not good at playing hockey.
And Columbus, by the way, sorry, Steve, I'll let you go in just a second.
Sure.
Columbus is falling out of the playoff picture very quickly here.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
and like Tortorella isn't like wrong here. Like Laine, wouldn't it be better if he did do all those things? Yeah, probably. Like, yeah.
Buy and wheel set cool
if my Lambo could haul 800 pounds like my semi truck.
How come I can't put all this sod in the back of my Lambo? Well, like, like what the fuck, man? Rent a fucking U-Haul, bro. Like, are you?
We also forget how young this player is because of how good he is.
Yeah,
like he was drafted in 2016. So he's been, what is he, 23, 22?
Yeah.
It'll come.
He's entering his peak.
Well, and he's developed as well. Like he was kind of a Cy Young candidate, like the kind of guy who gets 40 goals and 10 assists or something like that. And then he developed as a playmaker. That's an upgrade. That's a development. That's something he learned how to do better. All this corner work and what the give him a Hyman type. Or damn it, Jesse, even a Brandon Tanev type. Give him someone who's going to give that one the puck.
Because that's what he's
let Max Domi feed Patrik Laine.
Or Jack Roslovic apparently is their first line center.
Or just whoever's game complements that style. Like you're building a line. Like hockey is all about building lines that kind of work together. You can't have the same guys doing the same thing on the ice. You need one guy who's going to fill in those gaps, and when somebody gets him the puck, he's willing to shoot. And Laine, I forget the number, but he's averaging like 2 shots a game. That's not his game. He needs to shoot more than that. He needs to just get the puck on net, and nobody's feeding him the puck because they don't want him to play like that.
One-on-one with big defensemen. I want Patrik Laine versus Alex Pietrangelo every time. Can I just throw this out there? Everybody was shitting on the North Division for being not very good. The Discover Central Division is 3 good teams dining out on 5 not good teams. Yeah, I want to point out the goal differential from Nashville on down to the bottom of the division, because you got Tampa, you got Florida, and you got Carolina, 2 with 50 and 1 with 49 points. Those are some pretty damn good teams. Good for them. Okay. Mm-hmm. But then you got Nashville, which is now in a playoff spot. And this is what's so hilarious about the trade deadline. Diluted and hilarious that because Nashville is now winning, it would set the wrong precedent to potentially move out some players for some assets on a team that is objectively not making it past the first round. Even if they make the playoffs, which they still probably won't.
Adam, you're going to be so upset when they win a round.
Look at the goal differentials here. And this is what I'm talking about. So Tampa Bay, 124 goals for, 85 against.
Good Lord.
Florida, 119 to 99. That's amazing on a team with Bobrovsky playing as shitty as he's playing. Carolina, 113 to 86.
Ooh.
And by the way, Carolina has at least 2 games in hand on Florida and 1 game in hand on Tampa Bay, so they could be first by tonight. Who knows? Nashville, number 4. They've got 39 points. Remember, the next closest has 49.
Yikes.
Nashville has 95 goals for, 109 against.
Oh.
Tied with them, but with less wins in the actual win category. They've lost more in overtime. That's why they're tied with Nashville, because that makes sense. The Chicago Blackhawks with 106 goals for and 115 against. And then you got the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are in 6th place, and everybody in Columbus is going to be like, guys, they're only 3 points out of 4th. Wait till we get to Dallas just a second. Columbus, 94 goals for, 118 against. And then you've got Dallas, who is, by the way, of those teams going to make the playoffs. They have 4 games in hand on Nashville, Chicago, and Columbus, because they had the COVID protocols beginning of the season. Yes, I get it. They're 11, 12, and 10. They have 10 overtime losses.
What?
Yes. Dallas has 10 overtime losses. Wow. Dallas is a very good team in the second last spot in their division. Dallas is going to the playoffs, and their goal differential is 0, 91 for, 91 against.
Which isn't great, but it's better than what 0, I just gave which you, is right? The rest of them.
Yeah, and then Detroit is shitty, and we don't need to highlight that.
They know.
And, they know. That's the point. So the point I'm trying to make here is Columbus is falling out of the playoff picture. They got a coach who's on his way out. If I'm Jarmo Kekalainen, I have to sell Patrik Laine in Columbus, and it's not. I don't think Portsy was wrong. We had him on. He was talking about how great Columbus as a city is. And I'm sure it is. I haven't spent a lot of time in Columbus, but why wouldn't it be great? It's great.
Yeah. Every city, every NHL city, you can find a very good reason to live there as a millionaire. Because remember, you're not living there as just a regular person. No, every place you're living is as a millionaire. And I think you can make it work.
You probably could. Okay, so.
Is there a bad place to be rich?